G'day guys, Lindemann here in DCS World in the 18C. This will be a mission where I'm doing some ground attack from medium altitude at a small town in the valleys north of Georgia called Didi Gupta, small place. It has a tank platoon of Russian T-80s and some air defences. I haven't played DCS 18C in a while, but DCS 2 is coming out really soon, so I wanted to scrub up a little bit, and I'll try and show as much as I can of some of the detail of flying the exquisite DCS 18C. So, not referring to any checklists, I'll get the inverter and the batteries on. And I've got APU, that switch there, which I have on my HOTAS. You can hear the APU cooking up. I will need air traffic control. Just do that. Air traffic control. Veziani does not give me what I want. Just exit here. Select Veziani 140.0. So we'll dial that in. Alright, we'll check the APU is up and running, and we'll get the APU power on. You can see some of the systems have powered on. I'm going to get the CDU up and running as quickly as possible. And the EGI navigation system. We'll get the CICU, the FC, and no, it's the FC. No, we don't really need that. And for the displays, we'll get them turned on as well so they can start cooking up. You can see here that we have our pre-flight check, so we'll hit enter to start that, get that up and running. I've turned on the radios, we'll get the fuel pumps that are already on. We should just about be ready to start the left engine. Okay, so with that, we'll see air traffic control via Ziani and request startup. As we start up, we'll get some lights on. So position, flash, anti-collision. I've got the master switch on the HOTAS, need to reset that, and that will stick. Okay, lights are on. Cleared for startup. Start the left engine first by rolling the throttle forward to the start position. Monitor exhaust gas temperature and core RPM. Okay, you can see that is cooking up. You can see the hydraulics kick in as the flight stick moves. Okay, temperatures are rising. Going up past 50%. You can get that visual confirmation there that things are turning. That sounds like idle to me. And we'll confirm the light's gone out on the warning switch. So we'll start with a right engine start, rolling the right throttle forward to start up. Just monitor the exhaust gas temperature and RPM. Okay, it's kicking off. Stabilizing, RPM's coming up. So it looks like two good starts. Okay, so that's done pre-flight check. We'll just get the FC to standard flight mode on. Okay, acknowledge that. We'll load all. So from the data cartridge, a tape carrying the mission data, our loadout, etc. It's basically going to load that into the aircraft's computer system. So we will get our taxi light on, anti-skid light. It's two good starts, so we can get the power generating off the engines, get the APU generator off, and turn off the APU. Okay, we'll just check that that's worked. So if I go to Dismas, we're carrying 2 CPU 97s, 6 GBU 12s, and 2 AGM 65D Maverick missiles. We've got a targeting pod, 2 air-to-air missiles. And at this point we're just looking for the nav ready to come as our GPS alignment works through. So this is the alignment error slowly counting down. We want that to be pretty precise so the airplane knows exactly where we are. If we move while waiting for that, it will invalidate the alignment and cause us all sorts of grief, particularly the autopilot not wanting to hold firm, etc. Just going to zoom out slightly. Okay, so we're done there. We can get nose wheel steering enabled. Is that nose wheel steering? Yeah, it's nose wheel, okay. Alright, good to go, and we'll talk to air traffic control. Aziani, request taxi to runway.
411, request taxi to runway.
And there we are. Okay, INS nav ready. We'll put the system into nav mode. We'll get the pitch and yaw stabilizing enabled now. So the plane flies nice. We'll turn on ground radar. We'll turn on the EAC system. Which, is that enabled? That's enabled. We haven't selected. What haven't we selected? Iggy, there we go. Okay, good to go. So just check flight controls, looking good, ready to taxi. Off we go. Okay, it's good to have an idea of where you're going, so we'll just F2. Alright, so we're going left and taking the second left. It's quite a nice morning. Not a whole lot of weather going out. Pretty small taxiways if you ask me. Okay, so now we're taking the second left. You can see we've got a M113 a transport with a minigun on top for air defence, short range air defence, sitting there idling away. Okay, around we go. Now we want to take, I think it's this right hand turn. No, it's not. That is a hangar. So it must be that one up there. No, yeah, the one with the taxiway. It's got the taxiway sign on it. Okay, at this point we'll go flaps. One down. Which is take off flaps. Now we're pretty close to the limit on weight. From my loadout because we're carrying 6 GBU-12s. It could make things a little bit tricky, so we'll see how we go. I might actually use the entire runway, which means a right hand turn. Okay, the seat wasn't armed. We're heading towards the runway, so we'll arm the seat since we don't have to worry about safety of ground crew anymore. And we can turn on some lights actually. Put ourselves in nav mode. Done. Laser to safe. We'll turn the targeting pod on and uncage the standby attitude indicator. Okay, let's stop here. And we'll request takeoff.
411, request takeoff.
Okay, 28.27. That is, where's the altimeter? Right there, 2827. So just get this. Basically sets the altimeter to 0. 2827 is there. Close to 0. Just do pre-flight check. So we've got air brakes. Yeah, air brakes look good. And we'll just park it there. Throttle up, air brakes off. Rudder looks good. Ailerons look good. Engine stable. Canopy to locked. It's a bit quieter now. Engines on, brakes off, and rolling. Okay, before we get to about 70 knots, we're going to turn off nose wheel steering to stop the nose wheel steering wheel exploding, and that will stabilize us. Running up to about 120, we will get good takeoff lift, and starting to rotate. Rotating about 130, 140. Almost, yeah, we are pretty heavy. Okay, we're in the air. We'll get the gear up. We'll trim. You notice I didn't set the trim for takeoff. That's one thing I didn't do because the aircraft by default at start is already trimmed for takeoff. So there we go. Alright, we're going to do a right hand turn, I guess. Continue the climb towards mission waypoint 1. And we may increase that climb. Got a bit of speed. Okay, it's 100 degrees off the nose. We're heading towards that waypoint marker there. 70 degrees off the nose, 55 miles away, 60 degrees off the nose. Around it comes. 30. Heading up a couple of thousand feet. We're in line with the runway now, so we'll just join the traffic pattern basically and climb. Like so. Okay. Just going past the threshold of the runway, and there's our waypoint. Okay, I might turn on jitter. Okay, aircraft looks good. Let's get path mode. Path. Okay, we'll lock that in. Now we are going to, I think, 25,000 feet. So I'll get path hold locked in. Climbing quite fast. Okay, we can get out of there. Targeting pod, air to ground mode. Select that, make sure it's working. Yep. Okay, targeting pod is working. Set that back to standby. Mavericks, we will use them. We'll have to turn the Maverick seeker on. It does overheat though, so we only want to do that a few minutes before we actually hit the objective. And we are, depending on our speed, we might be about 10-12 minutes away from getting there, so it's probably a little bit early at this point. Let's have a look. So we've got laser, muster arm, gun, we'll keep all that stuff safe. We'll switch to landing lights for when we land, and we can turn our lights off as we get closer to the AO. So lights are off now. We are going a little bit high, but we're not hitting a lot of moisture, so I will turn on pitot heat and turn on the oxygen, which is there. Just double check that the test indicator is working. Yep, oxygen warning system works. If we run out of oxygen, we don't really need it generally. It's just that we will be flying a little bit higher than normal for an 18. Okay, countermeasures. We will set ourselves up with manual countermeasures, and we'll turn on the systems. Okay, we've got a we've got a warning immediately, including HA. That's interesting. HA, I have no idea what HA is. So there we go. HA, pretty close and over there. E3, okay, so it's a ground threat. It's the highest threat, E3 being the hat on it means that it's an air threat. So we've got a couple of... Maybe it's an early warning radar. I've never heard of HA. And I'm not going to look it up. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I'll just adjust my course. I've got to trim like so. We'll go to our moving map. Oops, we passed it. TAD, Tactical Awareness Display. Make that soy, zoom out. Okay, so that's where we're going. We'll join lines with, what is it, flight plan mode. There we are. So we're making a diamond trip up and to the northwest from, what was it, Viziani. So, a bit of a trouble spot for Georgia. Okay, and that's reset my selected waypoint, so we'll get that back to waypoint 1. Anything else I'm forgetting? Haven't really turned on the other radios. I don't have a wingman today, but we'll turn them on just for sake of the exercise. Looking good. Okay, so at this point, let's set up our countermeasures. So we want jammer to be SAMs. I think that's the biggest threat. And countermeasures. So program A. Right, so we have program A, 4 chaff, 0 flares. Probably a good panic mode would be 4 cheers and 4 chaff and 4 flares every half a second for 10 cycles. That sounds like a lot. 10 cycles. 5 cycles, 4 flares, 0.2 of a second. What should I stick it on? 2 chaff and 2 flares every second for 10 seconds. That sounds like a good... and if I go left 1, I get lots of flares. And if I go... yeah, okay, so it steps it up. That's weird. It's like 2 every half second or 4 every second. Doesn't it really basically mean the same thing? 4 flares every 0.2 of a second 5 times. So that would be great for a missile coming in. Oh yeah, so that's continuous. Yeah, probably 2 every second for 10 seconds. I can always just disable it, manually turn it off. I'm off course again. There's no flight plan mode for the autopilot. It's basically path hold or altitude hold, but I'm losing airspeed, so I'm going to have to really drift up once I get a lot higher, and I'll probably have to adjust the trim. A bit too much. The trim in the ATN is a notorious beast. Apparently it's Really ineffective trimming. It's pretty hard to keep the aircraft in trim. Probably something to do with their pretty basic flight control systems. And the first 18s didn't even have an autopilot system at all. That was a more recent thing, so it's a bit of a retrofit. So you can imagine them flying across the Atlantic Ocean towards the first Gulf War. They had to follow a tanker with pretty awful trim, no radar, and no autopilot. So they basically, I think the tanker that they were tanking off, that they had to keep line of sight with the entire time, had to fly with its flaps down to fly slow enough to stick with the A-10 and let them tank. So, fun times. Okay, I've got, yeah, these radar contacts, but they are probably over the border. I think that's what I'm looking at. That's the Russian border over there, over those mountains. But I do have one over there. Maybe that's South Ossetia, that HA there. Okay. Just having a look here. I think that X mark. If I get my cursor over it. That there. That is a friendly. That's what. That is like a joint tactical terminal thing, like a JTAC would carry. That's marking his position. But I don't know who that would be. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. And I can select him, so if I hook him. Yeah, I can hook that position. Interesting. Okay, heading up towards 20,000 feet now. Not a lot to do, so at this point I might get the Mavericks cooked up and aligned and warmed up and ready to go. It's got a little EO timer there. I can't remember exactly how long it takes. I'm only carrying 2 Mavericks. I know a lot of people that play DCS really love to carry 6 Mavericks. They aren't that fun once you learn how to use them versus some of the more exciting things that you can do. So I tend to carry a more minimal bomb load. I am carrying a lot of weapons today though. I'm carrying 2 Mavericks, 6 GBU-12s and 2 CBU-97s. That is quite a lot compared to what A-10s generally carry, but I'm flying by myself, so I'll probably need it. Okay, so we'll probably pick this up again a little bit closer to the action once I've done the transport, the ferrying into the AO. Okay, we are just rolling in on target, so we're going to slew our targeting pod to the next waypoint, which is our target area, and have a look around. So I can see something right there, actually. We'll zoom that in, put it to point mode, make that sense point of interest. We'll just fire the laser, get a slew on that. That looks like a Tunguska, I believe. Okay, we'll keep that there. Mavericks warmed up, and we will zoom that in and slew to where the targeting pod is looking. We'll at this point see if we can get a lock. No, we can't. That's the wrong object. Okay, can get a lock. Awesome. So we will go ahead, select HUD, and select the weapons profile for Maverick. That looks good to me. 7 miles is a bit far. We're down to, we'll launch at 6.5 rifle, missile away, and we'll break off to the south. Okay, at this point I'm going to, select targeting pod. We'll zoom that out. Right, time to impact is still about 30 seconds, so we've got a wee while to wait, but we're just gonna fly south. Autopilot that. And see what he's doing. Zoom right in. His radar is on. We can see an S6 there. 8, 7, 6. See the number there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's dead. It's dead early actually. Okay. Excellent. So that is just up there. Just underneath my Sidewinder is a burning fire. Okay, so we'll zoom that out as quick as we can. We've got other targets here. You can see them kind of pop up next to the road. So we've got one here. We will select that. We're going to use a weapons profile for the GPUs. So we'll go to weapons profiles, GPU 12, we'll select that, CCRP, change settings, auto lays, laser time, go to 12, 1, 2, 12. I think that is all. Save that. In the control page, we'll latch on the laser so it toggles instead of just firing for a couple of seconds and then turning off. So it will auto laser and then stay on. Now we're going to turn the plane around, which will disengage the autopilot. Okay, we've got 6 of these GPUs with the laser code of 1688 that you see here in the digital stores management system. So bringing the plane around, coming in from the south, we've got 40 degrees, 10 miles, which is quite far. That's a steering line. We just need to keep the pipper over the steering line to bring it in for a level run over that target. Okay, there we go. That'll do for now. Okay, you can see it counting down. I'll just fire the laser and then I'll have to press it again to turn the laser off because now it's toggling with the latch. That gives us a proper range of 8 miles. Okay, 6.6. Probably want to climb a little bit as well. Alright, 4.7. So those HAs are actually Hawk radar installations. HA being friendly then, so not something we have to worry about. But that Tunguska, quite dangerous if I got too close to that. It has heat-seeking missiles and a radar for, I think, radar-guided autocannons. Okay, you can see the toggle coming through there. Holding down consent to release, and it's released. So time to impact at 12 seconds. We've set it to auto lays. It's 18, 17, ticking down. We're just going to extend off and head off to the east. So auto lays is now turned on. Auto lays is looking good, I believe. And 0, and we have good effect. Okay, it's the trim of the aircraft has been thrown out because we have dropped a bomb, and that's shifted the balance of the aircraft. Okay, we've got tanks all down this road that I'm seeing. Something driving down the road. I think that's civilian. I'm gonna focus in. That's a AAA cannon there. I'm gonna get rid of that because chances are I've got more targets than I do have bombs, so I may have to use the cannon. Okay, so I will come around. I'm going to hit that target. We're 5 miles away now, so we've got enough room to turn the aircraft. Okay. Just doing a flat turn. It will get easier to turn as we make the aircraft lighter. 20. Okay, we'll turn the laser off. That doesn't help. Okay. Lined up. Good to go. Power it forward. Keeping that pipper over the steering line. And then just waiting for the countdown. We're at 15 seconds until release. I just need to hold consent and we'll automatically release. Holding consent. Keeping that pipper right on the steering line. Releases away. And we'll go off to the south. Okay, lasers firing. One, and should be impact about now. There it is. Okay, we'll zoom that out. So that was one there. I've got another tank here. I'm just going to look for any air defense because I want to knock them out sooner rather than later. It's pretty hard to see it. Is that something there? Zoom that in. Yes. Okay. Right. So that is 5 miles. So we've got enough range to come in now. I'm just going to turn it in, coming from the south. Hit this next.
Passing waypoint 3 at 5,000.
Okay, so we should be just off the nose. There it is there. Okay, we'll just get that to the latch on the targeting pod there, fire the laser, get a range, done. Then get onto the steering line and throttle up. Just going to increase my altitude a bit. Okay, 10 seconds. There we are. Alright, we'll head off once again to the east. Lasers on, 10 seconds till impact.
Warning, autopilot.
Alright, looking good. Okay, we'll zoom that out. So that's that one down. We'll just look for some more air defense. So I think it's white hot. It's a lamppost. That's not going to help. Okay. I think we'll hit this one here next. And in doing that, we're going to use CBU 97. CBU 97. We'll do the CCRP, which is basically dive bombing. Continuously calculated release point, impact point will show us where the bomb will release in a dive. So pretty straightforward as opposed to what we're doing now, which is flat level impact point, release point calculations. Okay, we'll gain some altitude. I want to get up to about 20,000. Even higher if I can. Indicated airspeed is not great. Climbing at 2,000 feet per minute. And get the laser firing on that to give us an accurate range. Okay, 3 miles. We're going to start our diver at 3.4, 3.3, 3.2, 3.1. Alright, let's try and find this target. Down we go. One away.
Pull up, pull up.
Pulling high G's. Looking behind us, collecting some AAA. Okay, we'll use the speed to go back up. That looks like a pretty good impact. Oh, and we have been shot right up. Look at that. Bullet holes all through, including that missile, it looks like. I think that's been hit. Okay, so who hit me? Possibly him? Can't see anyone else. Alright, we will target this guy. Bring it around. I'm wondering about my fuel flow. My fuel, left fuel quantity. I don't see any vapor trail of leaking fuel or anything, so I think we should be fine. I'm going to want to climb, so we've got a few miles to go. Just going to climb as much as I can. And we will just adjust the laser like so. Okay, 14 seconds. 10, counting down. We'll just get that steering line onto the pipper. Pipper onto the steering line. 2, 1, release. Okay, and we'll go off to the south. Looks like my engines are still good. Alright, there we are, good impact. Okay, civilian truck on the road. Just having a quick look around. The civilian truck. Oh, there is something there, isn't there? Ah, there is. Alright, that. Got two GBU-12s on the left wing. We'll drop then. I am not sure about the state of that Maverick. I can see what looks like a bullet hole. Oh no, it's not a bullet hole. Ah, that Maverick's probably fine then. Okay. Just bring the aircraft around. Okay, 4 miles to go. Got a laser solution on it. Continue climbing. "17, 16, 15. 15 seconds, 12 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Consume for release. It's away. We'll go off to the east. Oh, you know what? I just found a destroyed freaking AAA gun and I've bombed it. There's nothing else around there to bomb, is there? Bomb that. There we are. Little bomb hole, never mind. So that must have been killed by maybe the CBU. Okay, we've got something here. That is definitely an alive target. And
Warning,
we'll come
autopilot.
in with the GBU-12 again, because we're 4.6 miles away. Plenty of time to turn around. You can see... no, we're not pulling wing vortexes. "60 degrees, 50 degrees away, 5.1 miles. Come on, come on, come on. Alright. Once again, we'll start to climb. "14, 13, 12. Okay, get that steering line on. Perfect. Okay, coming off to the south. South, so we'll just line it up. Lasers armed, lasers firing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and should come in now. There it is. Alright, so that's pretty much it for laser guided bombs. They are empty triple ejector racks, so we can select CPU 97 for another run-in with one of them. I think 3 miles was too close because I was at too steep a bank angle. It's too hard to get the bomb on the target quick enough, so we will probably start our dive at 4 miles. Which we're pretty much there. Depends on your altitude, I guess, though. So 50 degrees off the nose. We'll just climb as much as we can in the turn. Okay, up we go. So that is armed. We pretty much just have to do this pretty much optically. Luckily they're cluster munitions, so you don't have to be too accurate like rockets or something. keep that line over the target. There we are. And dive that away. Pick up some altitude. Yep, we are taking fire. We are definitely taking fire. So we'll start some switchbacks. 3, 2, 1. And we will need to continue to climb. It's interesting, I bombed a dead target. That is something that happened quite often in the Gulf War and things. They re-bombed the same targets. They were quite often given missions. It looks like a good kill. With pre-planned missions, they were quite often given the same targets again and again and again for interdictions and things like that. So probably happened more often than they liked. Alright, now there was something else that shot at me. We'll just head this way and then lock that in.
Warning, autopilot.
Trimmer's all thrown out with the changing loads. What is that? That is a dead ZU. Something, it looked like it came from around about here. That is a lamppost. What's that? Is that dead? I think I killed that, haven't I? No, that is alive. Okay, we've got it. So I can hit that with a Maverick, I guess. Is it 4 miles away? Should probably use the Maverick on it. Okay, we'll get that on it. And it's going to the right. In fact, it's way down here. Alright, rifle. And we'll go off to the east. He's lining me up, I think. Yeah, he's dead. Okay, so that is that done. What else do we have in here, if anything at all? Dead. Nothing. Nothing. Dead. I think that's definitely dead. I think I killed that twice. Wait, what are you? Are you anything? Oh. Oh. Are you dead? Yeah, you are dead. Don't remember killing him. So I think that's it. I'm gonna call that. We've got well, we've got nothing left actually. We've used all our munitions. So best time to go home. I haven't used the cannon, but that's probably a good thing. We've lost our missile warning system, so it's lucky. Yeah, it's lucky I didn't need that. Okay, getting the brakes out over Vaziani. We'll get the lights on. Like so. And one flap says we're able, and gear down.
Altitude,
We'll want
altitude.
to just slow our rate of descent and also reduce our airspeed quite a bit. We will go full flaps when we're able. It's a good point actually. Check landing gear. I have 3 down in green. I'm going to assume that they're all good. It's not like anyone else can help me and check the battle damage. I'm not carrying too much fuel, so I think about 130, and no munitions. It pretty much makes my landing speed about 130, I think. Just going to slip it to the left. A little bit more to the left. Crab slightly. There we go. Alright, we'll slow it down. Yeah, that looks like about our right approach speed. We'll pick it up and flare. Cut the throttle, full air brakes, aero brake. Just let the nose down. And let it roll out. So you're not supposed to use the brakes a whole lot with the rollout. Once we get to about 70, we'll just engage the nose wheel steering. So we'll use that to try and keep it straight like so. Alright, flaps up, brakes in, so on and so forth. Likes to wiggle around a wee bit. And that is pretty much DCS World with the 18C in what will hopefully be one of the last times I play it in this version of the graphics engine, because DCS World 2 is about to come out. So I'm just playing around, getting familiar with it all, because I'm going to give DCS World 2 death in terms of gameplay. I might just pull in just next to these Abrams tanks because they look cool. Like so. Yeah, DCS World 2 is coming out really soon, so I want to be up with the play, work out all the kinks, hopefully not get shot so much, and play it heaps. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think.